On Two Wheels this week, we're back at Darley Moor to see how the pupils are shaping up with their cornering skills. We meet the man with a rather unusual looking CBX 1000, and Wayne checks out the very latest technology in plastic repairs. You remember on Two Wheels last week, Jeff met up with some pupils on a track training day at Darley Moor. They'd learnt about counter-steering and shifting body weight to make the bike move around. Also, they'd been encouraged to slam the front brake on at anything between 60 and 100 miles an hour. Well, this week, they're on to cornering.
Now, this is one of the instructors, Damon. He's demonstrating cornering techniques. And so just as he comes down here, he's already positioned his body over to the right, off the brakes, tip in, round the corner, knee just skimming, and then accelerate away. And as you can see, all the pupils there are watching how it should be done.
Just get your back, strip your leathers off, so you just want to have a quick look at you, check you out. Alright, yeah, no problem.
So Dave, what's just happened here? We've had a tumble.
Classic example of where you look, you go. Yeah. He came round and instead of looking at the yellow focus cone that we mentioned before, the guy was looking at the cones as he was passing them, got a little bit too focused on one cone, hit it, and basically grabbed a handful of brake while he hit it, locked the front wheel, front went down, and that was it. Fortunately, it was about 2 miles an hour. Fortunately, it just bent the brake lever, so...
And what's the idea? These tight cones here, is the idea to keep people tight in?
Yes, the idea is to slow people down. Darley Moor hairpin is a completely flat camber. That means that you can come in too quickly, you can lose the front on the brakes, or you can high side on the way out. So the idea of the cones is to keep the pace down and make it a little bit more difficult, so that in the event that people come to a corner like this on the road where there are no cones, it will seem quite easy.
Malcolm, you came a bit of a tumble there. Tell us what happened.
Well, basically, I was coming out of the hairpin, been round it a few times, come out, not looking where I was going, looking at the cones on the road instead of looking into the distance, and the front end went and down I went.
But has it spoilt the day for you, I presume? Or
not at all, no. It's been a really, really good day. I'd recommend it to anyone, whatever experience anyone rides has got.
So you're going to come
really
again?
Good. Definitely next year, definitely.
Rob, well, you've completed the day. How was it for you, as they say?
Oh, it's terrific. It's really brought my confidence up. It's done everything I wanted. I'm a lot more confident on right-handers now. I even managed to keep with Dave on one bend. Well, just.
Well, I must say, you look pretty together on it. You know, you look very smooth on it. And what about other aspects? The braking was an interesting thing as well. Is that okay?
You never come to the limits on the road that you can on a racetrack, and it's nice to know that you can put yourself there. We're a lot slower than the real race guys, but we're a lot faster than you are on the road. You've got the ability to make the odd mistake and then work out where you are. It's just been terrific.
Pete, I've been watching you as the day progressed, and you seem to have been getting steadily better. And so you look very apprehensive at the beginning of the day, but how's it gone?
Pretty good. It does definitely boost your confidence. You get the opportunity to be pulled up any mistakes you make, and obviously lap after lap you get a little bit smoother, you leave your braking a little later, and your corner speeds are carrying a bit higher. And it's good grin factor. It's a good day. Yeah.
So any particular aspect that was really beneficial, or did it all come together for you?
Well, two main things really, and that's later braking and better corner control is what I've gained out of today. It's certainly been a bonus. Yeah.
Excellent. So you're going to ride nice and safe on the way home then?
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. We've had an absolutely fantastic day here. Even the weather's proved fantastic. In fact, I can hardly see looking at the sun now. But this is the guy, Dave Luscombe, the guy who organises the day. I couldn't get him earlier because he's been too busy. He's been out on track instructing and all the rest of it. But you've enjoyed yourself anyway.
Yeah, immensely, immensely. I mean, I said to the guys when we finished today, sometimes people say we've got the best job in the world, and it can be the best job in the world, but more often than not, it can be the worst job in the world. It depends on the students, depends on the weather. Today's been an excellent day. We've had a good bunch of lads who've enjoyed themselves and have listened. The weather couldn't have been better, and as you say, sitting and getting sunburnt in late September is
what it's all about.
Well, listen, what I was going to ask you earlier in the day, if I've managed to catch you anyway, is tell us how you've structured this day. In my introduction, I said people might not have wanted to do a track day as such before, but this could be for them, because this isn't strictly a track day as we think of them, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, we became very aware a long time ago that with the influx of riders into motorcycling, the growing sport, most of the people that ride are far too old to be world champions. They don't want to race, but they do like the thrill of a racetrack, and the idea of going on a racetrack is very exciting. The problem is they don't want to use their own bikes, which is understandable, and secondly, they don't want to go on there with a lot of wannabe racers. They want to go on with people who want to learn to ride, and what we do is offer them the chance to ride our bikes, but also in an environment where they will learn a lot, as well as simply being on a racetrack and belting round. So they get the chance to ride a little bit quicker, ride somebody else's bike, and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, because I think it's important for people to know your background. You come from a road. I know you've done a bit of racing, but I mean, you also run your first class advanced.
That's right. Yep.
Your school.
Yeah,
which has just won an award, I understand.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Nice little plug. Yeah, we've just been voted the UK's top advanced training company by the readers of Ride magazine. Yeah. So we're very pleased with that.
But that's for road riders. But you do this as a sort of a complementary thing. But you sort of apply some of the factors that are going to apply on the road here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it is a case. I think this gives added value to what we do on the road. I don't think there's a conflict at all. A lot of other people who've been on the track course this year have been people who've done our road courses, and they come here to maybe explore the limits of their bikes and themselves in an environment that isn't restricted by speed limits or other traffic, that is uniquely safe and allows them to explore the cornering and braking potential of their machines without having to worry about anything else. So in a way, it's a machine control day without having to worry about the peripheries and the things that normally cause problems.
And it makes it easier for you to control, like doing the cones, the slalom down through the cones, and shifting body angles and all the rest of it.
Yes. It gives us a chance to explore what we can do. Very often, the question that most people ask us is, when they first come to the school, is, what happens if you're going to a corner too fast, Dave? What brake do you use? And we always say, well, before you ask that question, ask yourself who you're going too fast for. Are you going too fast for you or the bike? And inevitably it's too fast for you. Today, and on all the days that we do here, people have a chance to find out what is too fast for them. And whilst they explore the limits of the bike, they explore and discover new limits within themselves, and that is what makes the day so valuable.
And when was the last time you saw a Honda CBX on the road? Remember that, the big 6-cylinder superbike of the 70s? Well, there's still one or two about, but chances are if you do see one, it won't look anything like this, because this one doesn't look a lot like a CBX to me now, apart from the engine. And JJ here, John Jones, is responsible for this, aren't you?
Well,
more or less. Yes, you are. Have you done everything on this?
Virtually everything, yeah.
Right.
Even down. The only thing I've not done is the graphics, the powder coating, and the main engine work.
Right.
I let a lad in the club do that.
So what did you do? Did you start off with a standard CBX?
I started off with a standard CBX Pro Link, not a Z.
Right.
So that was the one with the big fairing and the monoshock already in it.
Right.
And it's just got to this.
Right, it's got to this, but it's not all CBX anymore,
no,
is it?
It's Triumph bodywork.
I mean, as soon as you look at this here, you go, Triumph.
Yeah, speed triple back end, even down to the subframe underneath.
Right.
Because we're losing the suspension mount for the standard CBX to put the 600 stuff in. It had to go.
600 what?
CBR 600, yeah.
So it's running gear off the CBR?
All the running gear is CBR
wheels?
600. Yeah, wheels, brakes, auger. Couple of mods, like I've put a fancy brace on the bottom of the standard 600 swinging arm.
Right.
Carbon auger. It just adds to the look of it.
What about the frame? What's that?
Frame standard from the cradle, which is holding the engine in basically, and then everything else bolts to that except for the subframe, which was welded. That had to come off and put the Triumph one on. So everything over the engine and in the engine is standard CBX. Right.
Have you done all that, all the welding and all that business?
Yeah.
Everything.
All I did was I came in here and got one of the lads to check what I'd done was right. And
I hope you've only done it in your lunch times.
Oh,
of course, you wouldn't
only
use
at weekends and at nights.
Hey, I like this seat, by the way, this carbon seat.
Carbon seat.
That's smart.
The beauty of that is it's comfy. It gives you an extra 150 mile.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Even though it looks small and squashed, and it is quite hard.
How does it ride now? Don't be fancy on. We'll talk about it now. How does it ride now? Because I know CBXs are big and heavy, and they don't like going around corners.
Well, I'd never rode one.
Right.
My mate got me into CBXs, and he said, "Here, have a go on this." And I had a go and liked it, bought it. Once you get used to a vehicle, then that's when you start finding all its little quirks. And I found below 50 mile an hour, and this was rubbish.
Yeah.
The brakes weren't up to it, the tyres weren't up to it. You couldn't chuck it into a roundabout at 25, 30 mile an hour. You felt like you wanted to dive on the floor.
Because it just wants to fall over.
No, proper dive on the floor.
Yeah.
So that started as just trying to get an extra bit of rubber on the floor so it'd handle a bit better.
Right. So that was your aim?
That was my aim, yeah.
Did you finish up with this?
Yeah.
Several, how long's it taken you?
14 months that took me, from like start to finish, but not rushing at it, you know, just gently.
Bits and
pieces.
pieces.
Like making sure I knew what I was doing and asking around, and 14 months for the job.
So you've now got a much more usable, rideable bike?
Lot more.
Lot more rideable?
Lot more, yeah.
Right.
It's...
What about the engine though? Is that, I mean, I know it's a CBX.
Engine's bog standard-ish.
But
it's had an head job. Hang about, I'll get to that. It's had an head job,
right,
which we kept to standard, took a bit off and just made the comp a bit better.
Right.
And then junked the original carbs and put GPZ 600R carbs in.
Right.
That's quite a lot of messing about, but they're the same size, so they fit a lot more mod in a carb. You can dynajet it and get it set up right.
Right. And so, it starts better?
Starts a million times better.
Yeah.
They had an habit of blowing one cylinder, the Zs, because there was no vac tap, and if the tap started leaking, it'd fill number one up, you hit the starter button, and you ended up with two holes either side of the crankcase. Boom, gone.
Straight
so
out.
on the Pro Link,
FZR carbs?
GPZ.
GPZ carbs?
GPZ 600R carbs.
Oh, right. Done the trick?
Done the trick. Oh, yeah.
Superb.
Yeah. All through the club, that. I mean, CBX Riders Club.
Right.
And like, they swap and change, and like, they'll tell you anything you want to know.
Right.
So that's where all that's come from.
So going on to your club, the CBX Club, this, I know you show this now, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Lots and lots of trophies?
Oh, I've got a mantelpiece full of them now.
Have you?
They all love it. I didn't do it for that. It started off as the tyres, and it just got to that. It overtook me in the end.
Right, so...
And, you know, on and on and on.
When you started off, you had no idea it was going to look like this?
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
And are you happy that it looks like this?
Oh, yeah, love it. Love it to death.
Would you change anything now if you could go back?
No, not on that.
No?
No.
So it's finished, is it?
That's finished.
Complete?
That's finished. I've been using that 3 years.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 years I've been on that.
So what are you going to do next? You must
Street
have
Fighter.
Loads of time on your hands now, John.
Street Fighter. I'm halfway through another one.
Another CBX?
Another CBX.
Right, I've got to ask you about this. Look at this. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that? What would you think if you saw that coming towards you down the street? What is it? Is it Simpson Craft?
No, it's Craft.
Craft helmet?
It's a Craft. He modified it on the front.
Right, put a nose on it.
Yeah.
It's dead smart, that, but we have to say that this is for show.
That is.
This is the show visor. So what do you do? Take that one off.
Just take it off and put my other one on and use it. I do actually use it.
Yeah. You could ride with that up with a pair of goggles on it. It'd look even more weird.
Yeah.
Then, wouldn't it?
The only thing is though, you get muck in your eyes then, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's very smart. Very smart. So when's the next show? Next year now, is it?
Next year now, yeah.
Another trophy. You got the mantelpiece ready?
I don't know because I might have my other one finished then.
Oh,
and
right.
I might take that.
You might be coming on with two lots of trophies.
Yeah. Plus, I've run out of time because I don't know if you know or not, but wife's pregnant.
Oh, is she? Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
You'll have to build a miniature Street Fighter then.
Oh no, I've got a pair of overalls. She can come and hold spanners for me.
And coming up after the break, Wayne looks at the very latest in plastic repairs.
Hello. What is this, you might ask yourself? A panel. No ordinary panel. A panel that's been repaired. I'll show you, look behind. It's been fixed. It's been fixed by a miracle cure. Plastech. Plastech, one of the many different products that's on the market, so you can repair your bits and pieces that you've broken rather than send them in to a workshop. There's this one, Split Fix. There's the good old body repairer by plastic padding, where you mix it and stick it all on, but it's a horrible job. And then there's this new revolutionary one by Plastex. Now the difference between this and all the others are, you can actually make bits, you can make lugs and so on. So not only do you have to fix the cracks, you can fix the lugs that you've broken off. Now, as always, I really don't know what I'm on about, but I know a lady who does. I'd like to introduce Sarah here. Sarah, come and tell us all about this fancy new product that we've got here. First of all, tell us what it can do.
Right, well, it will fix your average crack, as you can see here,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of other products that'll do that too. What makes it totally unique is that it will actually make you a new plastic part.
Right,
and you can see
because
how
this is
strong
not
that
this
is.
is not uncommon, isn't it? Breaking off lugs. And
It
so on.
happens
I mean,
all
you
the time.
don't even have to fall off your bike to break the lug. As soon as you take your side panel off, more often than not, you've cracked it or broken the lug.
That's right, and the problem is if you've lost the part, then you're stuck, aren't you? You've got to throw it away. What can you do with that?
And buy a new panel, which
You've
costs
got to
a
buy a
fortune.
new panel, which
All
costs
right,
you a
then.
fortune. But with Plastic, we can make this new part very, 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 very easily.
Easily? I mean,
very
you know,
easily.
You're not kidding me now, are you?
No, even I
well,
can do
for
it.
example, I haven't got my overalls on, you haven't got your overalls on.
No.
Does this mean it's not a messy job?
It's not a messy job, I can show you.
So you're going to show me?
I'll show you.
All right, then show me.
Okay.
Bring them over here now and let's have a little look what we get in the package.
Right, well this is the preparation. Okay, very simply, cut off the top of this, pour a little bit of powder into the powder pot.
Yeah.
Use your pipette to drop a few drops into the smaller liquid bottle.
Yeah.
And that's it, that's
So
your
why do you do that
preparation.
then? Is that just to sort of make life easier for the repair?
Ease of use.
Got
You
you.
don't mix anything up, you don't waste anything.
And these are then spare for the next
These are then
job?
spare for the next job.
Right, well, what about this then? This is...
This is what we're going to use to make the new leg.
Oh, right, well, I
Yes.
feeling quite... but it's not very tasty. So
No.
that's the make the lug, as in, that doesn't make the lug, you make a mould.
That
here.
makes the mould,
Right.
so we can make the new leg.
Well, it just so happens here, down here, come on, Sutty. Right, well, you have behind here, we have a broken panel. Well, we haven't. This has obviously been fixed in the old
That's
horrible
one
method.
that's been used
and
with
it's
the-
moving, it's horrible.
That's right.
And this is
So
one of your little lugs that
That's
you've
one of our
produced.
legs that we've made.
What happened? Did you use this here to copy off?
We use the
As a
original
mould?
leg, yeah.
And then
the good one,
produce this?
and then you fill it out with the
I
product.
need to see this done, because I'm
No
not
problem.
completely convinced.
Okay, now to make the leg, we're going to pop this into boiling water for 2 or 3 minutes.
Got time to go for a brew? I always like to go for a brew. Oh, yes.
Here's one that's been in there.
This one we made earlier.
This is one we made earlier.
And it's
Becomes like putty, see?
all right. And do you bung this on this here lug? I like to help
Push
out,
that
so I'll hold the panel.
over, very, very simply, onto the leg, and leave
And
it
that
there.
is it. And so we leave this what now for a
We
couple of
leave
minutes
that
while it solidifies.
for 2 or
like?
3 minutes,
Yeah.
so it becomes a little bit solid.
Mhm.
Put it off, and that's your mould.
Right, Sarah, tell me now, is this thing going to be ready now? We've left it a couple of
That
minutes.
looks about ready, yes.
Looks about ready.
So, if you yank
should I
that
just
off
yank
there.
it off?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yank
pull it off.
Don't,
Yank
honestly.
it off.
Oh, I'm frightened. I don't want to break it.
You won't break it.
Will I not? So there we are. We've got this off. Oh, I can tell that looks not dissimilar to that. So now what the heck do we do with it? Now it looks like a piece of chewing gum.
Now we fill it up with Plastic.
Right.
So if you hold on to that
I'll
for
hold
me.
on to this, yeah.
Couple of drops of the liquid into the powder. Spike
Oh,
it.
I see.
Pick it up. Another drop.
Well, you'll have to forgive my ignorance here, but
And
do you know
that's
what I
it.
thought you did? I thought you put the powder in this little sort of mould, but you don't. You put the drops on there and drop it. Look at that.
If you were making a bigger lug, you could put the powder
The
in.
other way around. So,
And then
so
a
there's
few
no
drops
fear
of
of
the
getting.
liquid.
Can I have a dabble here? Give us a go.
Yeah,
give us a go.
you have a go.
Right. So there's no fear. So I put drops on there.
A couple of drops into the powder.
Like that.
Spike it.
Stick it. Ooh,
Pick it up. And then another drop.
Oh, I'm impressed with this.
So the good thing here is you're not mixing anything up and you're not throwing anything away.
Have I done enough now in this thing?
That's enough.
That's enough.
We
So
leave
how long
that
do we
now.
leave this for now?
About 10 minutes for it
About
to go
10
off.
minutes. And we can go and have another brew.
Yeah.
Anything for a cup of tea.
And then that's it. Job done. And that's your new leg. Yeah, that's ready.
Is it hard enough?
Yeah.
So how do we get this out? Do you have to heat this up
Peel
again?
it back and
Oh, you don't put it,
pop
just
it
put,
out.
Oh, I can see it happening now.
That's it.
Oh, can't wait. It's exciting. Look at that.
See?
Oh, it is. It's just the same. In fact, let's just have a look. I don't know if you can tell. Let's just move this over here. It's just another version of that. Remarkable. Right. So we've got the lug.
We've got the leg.
We've got a panel.
We've got the panel.
We've got a nice bit here. Can we put that on there? And what
Yeah.
method do we use now? What do we have to do now?
Exactly the same method as you used to fill up the mould,
So,
but place a couple of drops
a couple of drops. So I put the drops on here.
straight onto
Oh,
there. You
straight
don't have to
onto here.
prepare it.
Oh.
Straight onto there. Oh no,
I'll
couple
put-
of drops.
Oh, powder first.
Yeah,
right.
powder
first. And then straight onto here.
Straight onto there.
And then
do another one.
another
of
one.
those.
Dun, dun. There we go.
And then
That it?
That's it.
Oh, I can't believe it. Now, how long will we need to leave that?
10 or 15 minutes.
And that will be as solid as it could be. In fact, probably better than the original, because they break off easily.
Very, very solid indeed. Permanent repair.
Flaming handy. Now, let's just talk figures, because it's very important.
Okay.
Your plastic paddings and things, you get tubes of those for whatever, a few pounds, but it's a messy, horrible thing. It isn't as strong, and you certainly can't form a lug, so that's a problem. But you could perhaps repair a crack, but it's limited. Then you've got split fix, which is a chemical reaction device, but that has limitations of use, because you can't make lugs. But that's about 25 quid.
Yes.
This is around £35. And just run it by me again. How big a crack can you fix?
7.5 metres worth of crack repair the kit will do you, and it will make you 30 of these
30
lugs.
of these lugs.
So it goes a long way.
Strike a line. And you don't just have to make lugs and brackets. I mean, what happens if you've got, you know, your bike falls over and your indicator is broken from the fairing? Very often you lose a big chunk.
You lose a huge chunk.
Yeah, so how do you go about that?
Very easily, you would stick a little bit of sellotape behind the hole and fill it up using the method
just
that
the
we've
way
just
I've
shown
done
you.
it to make
Leave that 15 minutes just the same.
And that would do it.
And that will do it.
It's very impressive. Well, thanks very much for your help, but I am not totally convinced, folks, that that lug is going to be as strong as we say. So I'll just go through the Wayne test, all right? Wrong again. Come here a minute, come here. You know, Sarah's gone now, so she can't witness this, but I'm going to have another go at breaking this lug, because I don't believe her. So hang on a minute. This is that other panel that we had, that they made earlier. They could have cheated, you know. They didn't cheat. You can't break it. That is remarkable. In fact, I've broken the panel. That's how good the lug is. I was wrong, wasn't I? And this stuff, this chewing gum stuff, it does taste awful. You can actually reuse this loads and loads of time. A mirror. Why have I got a mirror? Just so I could do my hair. No, the fact is, this mirror could have come from a stripped thread on the handlebar switchgear, which is not uncommon. Well, if you squirt a bit of WD on there and bung the Plasfix round it, stick it in the hole, leave it for a few minutes and spin it out, you've created a new thread. Clever, innit, eh? Still don't believe this panel. I'm going to break this panel.
On Two Wheels next week. If you're still wondering which machine you'll be riding next year, perhaps we can help you decide as we look at all the latest models on show at this year's biggest biking event, the International Bike Show.